This is just a nightmare to stop. Okay, let's go like this. I know he doesn't have Barb Barrel in hand. And this is the spam style deck that people hate. People hate playing against this deck. It's just it's so easy. Ew, what is up, gamers? It's Durkee here, and today we're going to be using the deck that has the overall highest win rate inside of Clash Royale. And as you can see from the screen, it is this Evo Royal Recruits, Evo Goblin Barrel, Goblin Stein, Cannon Cart spam deck. Compared to a lot of the spam decks that I play on this channel, this one has a relatively slow cycle at 4.0 average elixir, meaning that this deck just plays a little slower than a lot of the fast cycle spam decks where you're pressuring hard and you're going all gas, no brakes. The reason I like this deck and the reason I think it has such a high win rate is because it is patient, it is controlled. You basically wait for your opponent to overextend and you can punish them so hard with the recruits, with the Evo Goblin Barrel, and the Cannon Cart. Plus, this deck does great against most Evo Musketeer decks and Evo Pekka decks. And the icing on the cake for me is that this deck is just not that hard to use. On this channel, I talk a lot about skill floors and skill ceilings, and for this deck, I have to say the skill floor, the barrier to entry to learn this deck, is really not that high. So if you are in need of a new deck and you want to climb a couple hundred trophies in singles or doubles, this is absolutely a great deck for you to try out. But don't take my word for it, because as we like to say, talk is cheap. So come along for the ride and I will show you how to cook your opponents with this deck. Into our first match of the video, we're going to go ahead and change overlays so that way we don't forget to have the cards on screen, something that I mess up every now and again. And like I mentioned, you know, I run the Hypno CR deck a lot of the times, which is a similar deck to this, but a little more fast-paced. And this deck, it's a little slower, it's a little more tactful, it's a little more patient. You really want to try to exploit your Royal Recruits in your Cannon Cart when you have them in cycle and get your opponent to overextend, get a really cheap defense, and then punish them hard. No arrows in cycle, but when I see arrows and Mega Minion, I think Lava Hound or I think Golem. Now the Barb Barrel kind of has me confused, I'm not going to lie. So we're just going to drop a Cannon Cart in the back. It looks like it's going to be a balloon. That's actually pretty decent for me. I'm going to go like this. He could spell all of this. I'm going to wait just a second. Cannoneer actually does pretty decent against the balloon, as you can see. Actually full countering the balloon. I'm going to go Gang to speed this up, maybe mess up some of his timing. Oh, and you can see he wasn't ready for that. That's one of my favorite plays that you can do, is if you play a troop behind the Cannon Cart and increase the speed, it oftentimes can mess up their defense. So that was a really good start here. I think now would be an opportune time to go for recruits in the back here. Mainly to cycle to my evolved ones. I think people will get into trouble when they cycle their recruits and they spam too much. I'm just going to let these go. My goal is to force out an even elixir trade. And you can see we've already done it right there. That's an even elixir trade right off the bat. I'm going to go in here as well. Again, arrows will come down and it'll be an even elixir trade. And he actually missed one of the goblins, which is great, and he still needs to defend the left. That's another reason why this deck is so strong, is people just don't know how to defend it. He's going to play arrows here most likely, so I'm going to drop the Goblin Stein and pop this ability. Yeah, I knew he was going to arrows on the Dark Goblin because, I mean, frankly, it was just a good play. And this balloon isn't going to get any damage because the Goblin Stein is so strong. So we're playing this very, you know, tactfully, very masterfully, and at this point, we already have, like, a lot of damage where we can kind of just, you know, defend and hopefully take their tower. We know that he's running balloon. We have great balloon answers in the Goblin Stein, the Goblin Gang, and the Cannon. One of the best pushes that you can set up is Evo Recruits at the bridge and then double barrel. And this is just, dude, this is just a nightmare to stop. Okay, let's go like this. I know he doesn't have Barb Barrel in hand. And this is the spam style deck that people hate. People hate playing against this deck. It's just it's so easy. Like, you would have to be such a good player to stop that. And I'm not going to act like I did anything great. I'm not going to act like I'm the greatest player. Like, that is just such an easy push to do. You can see how I set it up. It was calculated, it was controlled, and this match is just over. We'll see if he gives up. I mean, there's 20 seconds on the board, and he's not playing any cards. So, looks like my opponent's going to throw in the towel. So, really good first game. I hope that, you know, me commentating and dissecting each of those interactions was helpful for you. So we're going to hold that W, and we're going to see you in the next match. Okay, up here against Half. If you can get, like I showed last game, your Evo Recruits to align with your Evo Barrel when you are up in Elixir, it is crazy. And the way to do that is usually starting with your Barrel. Barrel first play is a great play. You can see you forced out an even Elixir trade there. Looks like he's setting up to go in for a Hog, so I'm going to go for these Recruits at the back. Okay, nothing comes down. I didn't mean to split them 4-2. I meant to do 3-3. So it looks like he's running 2.6. Good to know. We do have a Cannon, which is going to be great against the Hog. He's going to get a really... Oh, not quite 2.6. Maybe he's running Royal Hogs from the look of it. Either way, the Cannon's going to be great for us. Okay, we're going to Dark Goblin early to try and snipe this. You can see it outranges the Queen, and you can't pop the ability at this point. So we're going to do this. Try and force out like a log or something. Or a delivery. This deck runs log and delivery. Okay, log comes down. Okay, and cannon. Cool, cool, cool. I'm just going to chill. I mean, I don't need to press the issue too much. We've been getting some nice Goblin or Dock damage here. This deck doesn't run like a Lightning or a Fireball. It usually runs Earthquake, so Cannon Cart in the back is great, especially when he doesn't have his log and cycle. Okay, he does have delivery though. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to try and bait out the delivery, and then we're going to go in hard with the gang. That Evil Ice Spirit isn't going to really do that much, to be honest. Oh, dang, I thought I outcycled his log. That's my fault. Poor cycle tracking, to be honest. This deck that we're playing against has a really quick cycle, so it's very easy to lose track. But it is Royal Hogs, and I like this matchup. I think that unless my opponent plays perfectly, it's going to be really difficult for them to stop our pressure. There's great arrows right here. Nice. Both Cannoneer Towers helping out. He's going to get a little bit of damage there, but net-net, we're fine. And he wasted his Evo Skeletons. And now that he doesn't have Evo Skeletons, I'm tempted to go in for like a massive push, because Evo Skeletons are usually like the vibe killer. I can drop Cannon Cart in the back because he doesn't have Royal Recruits, or excuse me, Royal Hogs and Cycle. Okay. Setting up everything here. Okay, interesting cannon, I'm not gonna lie. Cannon Cart is actually gonna live, and because he wasted that cannon, my man is in for it right now. I'm just gonna let him know. He can't defend both sides, at least not flawlessly. Nice, we get good damage onto both lanes, kind of as anticipated. Look at the left side, look at the left side. Nice, we're gonna go Goblinstein here, because if he goes in with the piggies, we can kind of just pop the ability. Yeah, Queen ability, I don't like really care about that, to be honest. Okay. You can chill. He just, like, if I was playing as him right now, it's like I wouldn't want to push anything. I'm gonna do a split, like 4-2, because I don't want him to Earthquake the right side. Okay. Okay, he goes log. Let's go like this. I mean, he might have Evo Skeletons. We need to be ready for Evo Skellies if he plays them. Yeah, I'm just going to arrows this because he has to play something else. And my opponent just overwhelmed. Overwhelmed. What are you supposed to do? I mean, he barely went in for Royal Hogs. I think he went in for 1 or 2 sets of Royal Hogs. That is what this deck does. GG's. We'll see you in the next match. All right, up here against I Am in USA. That's awesome. Like I said, highest win rate deck in the game. And on top of that, if they're running Dagger Duchess, your life is great. This deck does great against Dagger Duchess. It does great against Cannoneer. It does great against everything. All right, so he just goes with the Goblin Giant first play. I don't hate it. I'm going to try and keep my Cannon Cart healthy, so I'm going to go Recruits here to, like, distract the Spear Goblins. I don't even know if I need to play my Cannon. I will, because he raged up. Nice. Yeah, he did end up popping the ability, but that doesn't take care of the Cannon Cart. And look at the right side, or look at the, yeah, look at the right side and the left side. Okay, let's do this, because this Cannon Cart is still menacing. Nice. Could have maybe split up my troops a little better there. I'm not entirely sure. I didn't want to push on the right because they had the bomber, but nonetheless, that was an easy defense. Whew, okay, I like the matchup. Good to know that he has rage, probably has rage arrows or something like that. Okay, gang at the bridge. Alright, nice. So we get the rage out of hand. That's good for me. Okie dokie. We're just going to drop this Cannon Cart in the back. Take a chill pill. Relax. See what he does. He might push into it. He might push opposite lane. He might set up a defense. We're just going to let it breathe. Like I said, when you play this deck, it is slower than a lot of the spam decks. I'm going to go Dark Goblin because I think he's going to go... that is not what I thought he was going to do, but that's okay. This is still good arrows. And Cannon Cart doubling as a building is amazing in this situation. And you can see an easy defense. So that he basically wasted his Evo Goblin Giant there. I mean, he used it on defense there. I'm not 100% sure what his other Evo is. If it's Pekka, it's great. Pekka Goblin Giant? Oh my gosh, imagine him playing a Pekka and just pushing right into us. I'm going to go for a barrel here because I want to cycle and have my Evo Recruits and Evo Goblin barrel in hand at the same time. He just lets it go, so that's fine with me. I'm going to let... I can't really let that go now that I think about it. Cannon like this. Beautiful. And I feel like that was kind of a wasted rage, in my opinion. Okay. I'm going to pop this ability here because it'll help defend against the Goblin Giant, and it'll get some chip onto the tower. Okay, and because that side is low on elixir, we're going to go like this. And this is the push I was talking about, dude. What are they supposed to do here? How do you defend both lanes? Genuinely, how do you look at the right side? How are you supposed to defend all of this? It's awful. It's awful. Dude, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Yeah, it goes for the defensive Goblin Giant, I guess. And he has to rage it up. And we can go for the Goblin Barrel here. We're going to go gang down low. Holy moly. Man barely got by with that defense. And then you can just rinse and repeat. Okay. We're going to go like this. Cannon cart off to the side. I think Dark Goblin stays out of that path. Okay. We're gonna go Goblin Sign. He doesn't have, like I said, he doesn't have a lightning or anything, right? He just has rage arrows. So I don't know what he's supposed to do. Okay, we're gonna arrows all this. That's great arrows for us. I'm happy with that interaction. Okay. All the pressure here. Let's try and force out arrows from him on the Dark Goblin or rage or something like that. He opts to pop the ability, but he's all out of elixir and he's all out of troops. So that's gonna be GG's. Easy win, man. That's the theme. For most matchups, it's pretty easy. So GG's. We'll see you in the next match. Alright, in our next match here against Pedro, honestly having a great time with this deck. This isn't necessarily the type of deck I would usually run, but I might add it to my repertoire. I might. Okay, one thing I would say to stay away from is Recruit's first play. I know people do it, I've seen people do it, but it's probably not in your best interest. But second play, then now we're talking. Nice, he just cycles that E-Spirit, Rage, Log. Interesting. Running some sort of fast cycle deck. I'm not 100% sure what. Okay, we're going to Cannon Cart just to help DPS this down as quickly as possible. He actually pops the ability kind of early. It's not actually going to take care of the Cannon Cart, so we're going to go like this here because he doesn't have his Login cycle. He only has Rage. And that's the push right there when you know they don't have like their Log or Rage in cycle and you can just exploit your Cannon Cart. Or, sorry, Rage would have been fine, but he didn't have his Login cycle. And we got him effectively to waste his Pekka, which is amazing. So we're going to go Goblin Sign in the back because he doesn't have his Pekka in cycle, right? And that's one of the best answers to Goblin Sign. We know that they are rocking Log, though, so we're going to keep that in mind. If he goes for building, if he misplaces it, we can try and snipe it with the Dark Goblin. And we're going to see if he can maybe miss the Log here. We're going to play the barrel just a little bit behind. And look at that. He misplaced the building. Log comes down. We're going to pressure with the Cannon Cart as well. Pop this ability. Nice. So he's running one of the most popular decks at like this season and last season. Goblin Stein Pekka, everyone's most annoying deck. I could go arrows here. I think he's going to go skeletons. Yeah, I thought about it. Especially because I'm going to have to arrows this anyway. So that's kind of unfortunate. I should have done it. I should have done it. I should have had faith in my read. That's okay. We're going to go like this. Oftentimes this deck runs lightning. I wanted to see if he was going to rage before I dropped anything else. Okay. Okay, so he has Rage Log. Am I correct in saying that? Okay, we're going to go like this. Recruit's going to do great against the Evo Pekka. Just want to make sure that he doesn't feel comfortable. That's all. I want to avoid giving too much log value. Oh, perfect. He logged over there. It's great for me. We're going to go in here. Set up a cannon for the Pekka. And no login cycle. I don't really know how he's going to defend that left side. And that's what this deck does. Right there, you just witnessed it firsthand. Cannon still surviving, doesn't have login cycle, and we have recruits. So we're chilling like a villain. Let's go like this. Boom. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Let's go Dark Goblin to snipe this, and he has to log on the right side, otherwise that's going to be tower down. Oh, he wasted his log. Let's go in with the Cannon Cart. I'm going to go like this to predict skeletons or something. Nice. Nice. We hit something. We hit a Hail Spirit. So GG's. That's a great matchup for us. And that's a pretty frustrating deck most of the time. So if you don't like playing against Pekka, this is the deck for you. Another easy win. We'll see you in the next game. All right. Up here against No Angel or No Angel, depending on like what country you're from. And I'm going to breathe. I don't like my start in hand. I don't really have any of my cheap cards. He goes for Recruits first play. The good thing about that is if we wait just 1 second, they will fight on our side of the bridge. We also have arrows, so if he goes for like a Dark Goblin behind it, we'll get good arrows value. So that's just what I'm looking out for right now. It's fine, I'll take this. Beautiful. So now we're down about 1 elixir, but we have a nice counter push, which is great. Let's go ahead and just like apply some pressure with the Dark Goblin here. Nice, and I don't want to say I'm glad that I did, but that's okay. I'm actually going to save my cannon. I don't think that I need it, which is kind of cool. I'm just going to go for the Goblin Stein here instead. He goes for the Fireball, and he actually misses, so let's go ahead and spam him here. If he goes for the Log, then we can go for the Goblin Barrel. This is exactly what I was thinking of. And just like that, immaculate start. This will take care of the minions, and it'll get some damage onto the tower. So already looking pretty. Weird that he's running recruits. No, I guess people run recruits Goblin Giant. That'll be a tricky push for us to stop, because it's a lot of spam. Okay. I'm gonna go like this, and we'll see what I want to do here. Take care of that. Nice. It was important to place the Dark Goblin like away from the Spear Goblins, because it would have like one-shotted the Dark Goblin. Okay, so decent start. That was his second Goblin Giant, and it wasn't evolved, so I guess he's not rocking Evo Goblin Giant. Doesn't have a Bomber in cycle, so Gang at the Bridge I think is a fine play. I might just drop a Rage on it or something. Okay, he does go Recruits. Let's go like this. And I think this is a worthwhile arrows over here, because otherwise... Okay. Evo Bomber does come down, but doesn't even connect to the tower, so I feel like that was a mistake in my opinion. We're going to wait a second and then drop the Goblin Barrel. I was hoping he would go Bar Barrel on the Recruits. So, maybe not the best Goblin Barrel. Maybe I should have done it in the opposite lane or something like that. Alright, we're up a little bit of Elixir, so I'm going to drop the Cannon Cart in the back, opposite of the lane where he's got a lot of his damage. I don't 100% know all of his spells yet. There's a chance that with this variant, he could be running like a Lightning or something. And we're going to do this, and I still think it's worth it. Well, I don't know if I want to arrows those quite yet. I'll arrows this side, actually. Trying to spread everything out as much as we can. Easier said than done. Cannon Cart is so annoying, dude. It just stays alive for so long. That Dark Goblin got a ton of value. We're going to go double barrel. Real one on the right side. He uses his Bar Barrel. Look at the right side and the left side. The Goblin Stein was tanking for both lanes. How crazy is that? And we're going to take his entire tower, basically. Wow. One push is all it takes. Falling in love with me. And once again, we're just going to rinse and repeat. He had to overspend there. Guess who's up in Elixir? It's us, dude. It's disgusting. Okay. Alright. And once these cross, we're going to go like this. Set up the cannon. And this is a stonewall defense, if I've ever seen one. All he hit with that fireball was the... what's it called? Dark Goblin. And I don't know what my boy is supposed to do here. GG's, he missed the Bar Barrel. It wasn't going to matter anyway. So another game, pretty dominant win. He barely touched my tower minus the fireballs. So GG's. We'll see you in the next match. All right, up here against Tinnitus. Tinnitus is probably our last match of the video. I've been having fun, but these games are kind of just... I don't want to say they're repetitive, but they're like flying by a little bit. I have not seen a Spear Goblin hut in a minute. I'm just going to cycle my Cannon Cart into it. Don't really 100% know how to respond. I might snipe it with the Dark Goblin in a moment, but I don't want to be too overzealous and give him like really good spell value. A lot of times Spear Goblin hut runs Mega Knight for some reason. I misplayed the Dark Goblin, but that's okay. It's not going to be the end of the world. This Cannon Cart's going to do a really good job. Okay, looks like it's Graveyard, which is awful for me. Just in general. We'll see if he goes for the spells, and he does, so we're going to have to drop the Goblin Stein. Yeah, Graveyard against Cannoneer is horrible. So we're going to see. We're going to have to get creative. He did go for his arrows, so I'm going to go for a barrel here, just timing it as best as I can. Fortunately, he went for the Wizard, which means he probably won't be able to defend this barrel in its entirety. One thing about Graveyard is you don't want to go same lane, so I might just switch lanes. Don't have anything great for this. I think I'm just going to let it get like one shot. Hopefully. 2 shots maybe. Less than ideal, but that's okay. I think in this situation, knowing that he has arrows, I probably want to defend with my recruits. Defend my Graveyard with the recruits. And that's probably the best play. It feels like. Okay. We're going to cycle them though. Have our Dark Goblin ready. He might drop like a Mega Knight on it. I swear, dude. When they run... this deck, so much of the time they have Mega Knight. Spreading everything out here. Cannon Cart actually getting a lot of value. Okay, he used his arrows. That's fine with me. The reason that's fine for me is because then he doesn't have them for the Graveyard, right? And that is ideal. Okay. So it could have been better for me. Could have been worse for me. Let's go in. Those don't get... the Goblin Gang doesn't get much value for me against the Graveyard a lot of the time. Okay, we're going to go Cannon Cart here. Or, sorry, Cannon. Okay. Okay. That was a mistake. Straight up, that was a mistake. That was a mistake. I misplaced that 100%. 100% my fault. If we lose the match, it's on me. Times a million. Okay. 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 Fair enough. Don't love this for me though, but that's okay. We're gonna go Dark Goblin way over here. Maybe he sells? Dude, those recruits were so bad on the graveyard. That's frustrating. Alright. We're gonna go 3-3 recruits. I do think this is okay for us in a 2-tower situation. Not like it's great, but okay. I think it's okay. Okay, we're gonna go Goblinstein in front here. That's like decent arrows value as well. I'm thinking of taking it. I just want to time it properly. Oh, definitely. Pop this ability here. Okay. Spreading everything out as much as possible. Okay. Perfectly timed to keep my Dark Goblin alive. And now we have the... I think we should go in here because if he arrows, he's going to lose. Nice, okay. Nice. So far, so good. He has to arrows that, but he's not going to hit the Dark Goblin. Okay. Nice. Dark Goblin going to work. I like this in a 2-tower game for us. I'm going to be kind of sneaky. I'm going to go like this and try and get the cannon card on the tower. Unfortunately, it locks onto the king tower, which is not really what I wanted. But that's still a ton of damage. Oh my gosh, that's great damage. Wow. Yep. Sometimes aggression pays off. Sometimes aggression pays off. Okay, we're going to go recruits low here. Okay. Cannon card as well. I'm just going to arrows here because worst case scenario, I take a ton of damage, but we're already looking really, really good. He just used his arrows, so I'm going to go in. Just used his arrows. I should have not played it on the side, yeah, because of the wizard. That was my fault entirely. Okay. 3-count pressure is very real for me. Okay, we're going to go recruits here. Don't want to give him arrows value, so I'm going to go in. Exactly. Beautiful. Didn't give him arrows value. He goes void instead. Nice. We're looking good. I'm thinking of a sneaky Dark Goblin in the pocket. Oh, we got Desperate Wizard. Desperation Wizard. GG's. Not bad. I definitely did not play perfect. I'm not going to lie to you, but beating Graveyard when you're running Cannoneer is a good in my opinion. So GG's. Don't make the same mistakes I did, but we ended up getting the dub. Catch you in the outro. And that is going to do it for today's video. Here's the deck one more time in case you want to take a screenshot and try it out. I'll also put the link to this deck in the YouTube description so you can just open it in the app and paste it in. Please give this deck a try. Highest win rate in the game. Very easy to learn, very easy to play. And if you want to just dump a couple hundred trophies, give this a try. Singles or doubles, it works great. So thank you so much for watching if you've made it this far. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it, you supporting me and supporting the channel. And I really hope to see you in another video very soon. Peace.